Hey everybody, it's your favorite gentleman, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. And today, you all are in for a treat. We have the incredible, the dicey, the fantastic. This woman is changing the absolute game. And she is a dynamic speaker who does multiple businesses across the spectrum. You won't want to miss 1 second of this powerhouse speaker coming to the stage right here coming up next. Stay tuned, stay with us, stay engaged. Here we go. Hey everybody, it's your favorite gentleman, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. And today we have Miss Laquita Brooks. This woman has a true passion for entrepreneurship. She is across the board doing multiple businesses, real estate, consulting, and trucking. This woman is talented, to say the least, and she balances it all so well. She does all the spectrum, still managing a household, still managing multiple businesses. And today on the show, she's here to give back and to educate some of us and spill some tea. Not all the tea. She can't spill all the tea. You got to connect with her to get the rest. But help me welcome to the stage the incredible, the amazing Miss Laquita Brooks. Welcome to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. How are you, Queen?
I am fantastic. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for everything that you're doing business-wise and across the board and across the different communities. I appreciate you. I want to say thank you on behalf of my audience today.
Thank you. I love being here and giving back in any way that I can.
Absolutely. You see the high energy, y'all. So I want to dive right in, Miss Brooks. What motivates you? What inspired you? When did you get the entrepreneurial bug?
So I don't know if I had, when I got the bug, it might, there's sometimes there are things that are just a part of you and you just kind of find out along the way. Right. But if I could think back, like to the very moment that I started really, like people call it hustling, but the entrepreneur was a part of me when I was in high school. And I would go to the store. I would go to Sam's. Somebody out there knows this story, right? Go to Sam's, get my candy, get my chips. I fill up my bag, and I'm at school, and there you go. I knew it. We all have a little hustle in us. We know how to make it work, right? And so I was one of those who did that. I was making my Rice Krispie treats. I would go to school, and from the bus stop to the end of school, I was empty. So that was my little extra change. And then from there, I went on into, hairstyling. I was doing hair in my mom's kitchen and $10 and $15. Listen, back then, weave was just coming out. So we just had the weave industry was just breaking in. And I was one of the few who knew how to work with weave. So I made it work $10, $15. I hadn't had my license yet. And I hadn't even started school, even thinking about it. And so I knew how to make a dime or penny when I needed to, and I made it work. And as far as my motivation, I am my why. I am my motivation. I get up motivating myself and understanding that if I'm not going to fight for me. Nobody's going to fight for me more than I'm going to fight for me. So I have to get up with that type of mindset and understand I'm fighting for me. And behind me is me building my family, my kids, generational wealth for them. They are my why. And so that's what motivates me to get up every day and to prove that I could do it. Because I grew up with, in school, when I went to Catholic school, because I went to Catholic school up to 8th grade, I dealt with racism and I was okay with that in a way. But when I got to public school and dealt with colorism, I didn't know which one was worse. Because if you treated me like with race, if you treated me and talked to me a certain way with racism, I knew where you were coming from. I could deal with that. And I knew I didn't have to deal with you. I could you be over there and I play with the friends who didn't mind playing with me. When I got the colorism, it was kind of a whole different story for me. So, I just get up, when I'm dealing with these type of things, that's why I feel like I'm worth it. Because I didn't feel like I was worth it at that time. I was like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I'm just me. I was born this way. This is how I look. What's the big deal? And so, I had to realize that I am worthy, and what you see is what you get. And if you don't like it, then that's your problem.
All my life, I had to fight hard post, kill him dead. That's
right.
But that's what I heard. I heard hustle. I heard the grit. I heard the grind. And you was not letting anything get in your way. You was not about to let anything stop you. So successful people have successful habits, Ms. Brooks. What is something that you do consistently, day in and day out, that you would contribute to your success?
First, I get up. Just get up, right? Get up and get going. So getting up for me, it means that I'm getting up, I'm thanking God for a new day. Then I start to meditate and I start to say my prayer. And if I'm feeling where it's a day that is not that, if I'm not feeling as like my 100%, I got to get there by any means necessary. So that's inspiration. That's trying to Google some type of motivational words, some songs, things that whatever I need, writing things on my mirror. So when I'm getting up, putting on my makeup, I can see it. I'm telling myself I'm a bad mama jamma. I'm doing whatever I need to do to get to where I need to be. So when I step out that door, I'm on 100 and let's get it done. So, and not to say that there's not days that you don't feel that way. We all have days like that. We all have days like, I don't like nobody today. Like my daughter came to me one day and she said, I said, what's wrong with you? And she said, I just don't feel like adulting today. And I was like, I get it. I understand. Let's get you back to where you need to be and let's go get it. And so that's what I do every day. I have and making sure I make a to-do list, because nothing like being confused and stressed out when you're trying to keep, let's face it, folks, and I mean, I don't want to tell my age, even though you may find out later anyway. But, I just, I'm just like, we can't remember like we used to. So making sure you make a to-do list. I keep it by my bed at night before I go to bed. Sometimes during the night I wake up, I write down things on my list. It becomes in my head because I want to at least have a good night's rest. But, I try to stay with those key components that helps me to keep going every day.
Get up, get going, just get up, just get moving, make a to-do list and get some rest, and do it even when you don't feel like doing it. That's what I heard. That's what I'm taking away from that. And that's huge.
Right.
And that's important. And thank you for saying that, because we need to hear that sometimes. There are days everybody's like, man, I don't feel like it today. In the pandemic, there's people that were struggling. There were people that were fighting. There were people losing loved ones. So you got to get up. You got to get going. That's what I took away from that. So I'm so glad you said that, because we
Absolutely.
need to hear it. You are the kick in the pants that we need right now.
Everybody needs that good swift kick in the butt. Everybody needs that friend that was going to say, hey, what's your problem? Okay, you want to have your pity party? You got 5 minutes. Get it out. Okay, now wipe all that up. And now let's go problem solve and let's get out there and go get it. Because I feel like if COVID didn't change you, what will change you? If COVID didn't change you, I had COVID right out the bat. In February, I think March, I caught COVID right out the bat. And so it was like, if that didn't change, I was down for 2 months. And so if after that, I was like, I don't know if y'all ever bargain with God, but if you got in that position, you ever got in that position, you're like, God, if you just can get me out of this one, I promise. And you ever said, I promise, and so I was there. I was right there. I was like, if you help me, I promise I won't take life for granted. I'll go out. I'm going to go back. I'm going to give it all. And I'm going to come back and help my people. I want to come and help people. I want to come and help people rise and lift them up. I want to be able to strive. I want to show example for my family. It was all of those things going through my head, because if you hear the story of your life flashes before your eyes, well, yeah, that happens. It flashes. You like, okay, what happens if I'm not here and my kids? What happens if I'm gone? Who's going to do this and who's going to do it? And how is this going to come? And how's that going to happen? It was all of those things. And so I was like, okay, I'm fighting for me. And literally that was one of those moments that it was a get up moment. I got up out of that bed and I went in there and I started thinking of ways to help save my own life. So it was like, turn the shower on. Just let the heat be on your back. Beat your back up against the wall. Rub that look, them old school remedies. Rub that camphor all up against your back. Let's get into that, get in this steamer and get in there and try to get that heat on your body and do. I was doing all of that. I don't care with the oranges and all that in the pot, and I had over my head. I was doing everything I could because I knew no one, even if my husband was in the house and he was helping me as much as I can, much as he can, because he had COVID too. But it wasn't like the fight that I had to have for me. And so it's the same drive that I said, God, if you get me out of this one, I promise I'll serve you. I promise I'll do what I need to do. I promise I'm going to be a better person. I promise I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it, whatever it is. I promise whatever my vision is, I'm going for it. And there's no more procrastinating. There's no more slowing down. There ain't no stopping. Ain't no stop, because the world don't stop for you. And all those people have passed on since COVID. Yeah, we're remorseful. We think about them. We have family members. But guess what happened? Life went on. The world is still turning. It's still moving. Ain't nothing stopping. So what's stopping you? What's stopping you? It should be nothing.
Nothing. Never. You had to fight. You had to get in the fight. So many of us avoid the fight. We detour, we avoid, we reflect, but get in the fight. That's what I'm hearing from you. Get in the fight. Get in the game, right? Don't just quit. Don't just roll over, because there's going to be another battle, right? Just after this one. So what are you going to do? You're going to quit? You're going to give up? And no, the answer is no.
That's right. It's not about if, it's about when. It's about when things are going to happen. They're going to come. But just like if you go to the army, and before you go to the army, what do you go? They take you to, what's that? It's they take you the camp. They prepare you for war, right? Yeah. Prepare for the war. Get ready for the war. Bring it on. You be ready for it. You don't wait till the war comes. It's like, oh, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it out. I don't have the answers. I don't know. Don't wait. Be prepared for the war right now. So when it comes, you be like, this. Okay, let's go. Right. Come on, Cletus. What you got? Let's do it.
She is ready. So I gotta ask, who is someone that has been a major influence to you while preparing for the war and while you're in the fight? Who's someone that's helped you big time in business?
Oh God. So since I have many businesses, there may be one for each. You know, it's important for you all to have someone that you have an influencer that you look up to, a mentor, someone that it's not where you imitate, but you literally have something that you focus on, that you like, yes, I can do this myself. You need something to help you, kind of motivate you, and you need some tools and tips to kind of help you to grow. So it's important for you all to have somebody that not you're comparing to, but you kind of can say, okay, you're gauging yourself with them. You want to look upward to somebody. Listen, if you want to be in the room, you want to be a millionaire, you want to be in the room with millionaires, right? You want to be an author, you want to get around some authors who've done it. You want to be around some people who have done the same things. So that way, and they're at a high level. So now you have something to gauge yourself to so you can work towards, so you can level up. So for me, I think for real estate, I love Annetta Powell, guys. Annetta Powell, she is a boss. She is a bad boss. Like she's a bad boss. She has came up out of prison, and then she came out, and she's been flipping properties. She's been doing taxes. So she's one I really do love to watch, and she motivates me. The other one is, and for my speaking, Lisa Nichols is my coach. She is one that, she's got the coaching thing down pat. And so I like to, I do watch her a lot, and really watch a lot of her, her strategies of how she speaks. And, for coaching, there's undeniable, Coach Stormy is a beast at coaching and motivating. And she motivates me to keep going, the things she says and how she dips, and how she went back and she helped a lot of people who thought that they were unworthy because she was. So giving back is important. And all of these things that I do, it's important to find someone in that field. Everyone needs a coach, and everyone needs someone to help them along the way. And that's important. That was important for me to be able to find someone in the room so I can level up.
Absolutely incredible. I told you guys, Powerhouse speaker here on the Gentleman Style Podcast, show today. We have one quick commercial break. You guys stay tuned, stay with us. We'll be right back. Good day, podcast listeners. This is your boy, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I wanted to let you guys know that we will be rolling out a new feature and adding a join sponsor button next to the subscriber button here at the bottom of your screen. Once you click the button, it will display 3 membership levels. Gentleman Gentry, which is our entry level, Duke Duchess, which is our season level, and the Emperor and Empress, which is our most sophisticated level, which you will receive unique perks and benefits at each differing level and gain access to our community tab. We will also be sharing polls, upcoming events, and interviews, as well as receive feedback from our sponsors directly. Your support helps me find new and exciting guests to bring to the stage live. Well, in order to get the higher end speakers, it requires, you guessed it, money. So thank you for tuning in to my channel. And if becoming a sponsor sounds good to you, then select the join button below and choose your desired sponsor level. Let's continue to grow and serve the future of generations of men and women to come. Love you guys. Bye. We are back to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. If you're just tuning in, we have the incredible Miss Brooks, who's spilling all the tea on business. She's multi-talented, all the way from trucking, real estate, coaching, and mentoring, and she's here on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show to give back. If you missed that, if you missed this powerhouse speaker, this passion, her passion came out, y'all. If you missed that, go back, scroll back, and tune back in. And I want to address the sponsor in the room. Thank you, Miss Erica Holmes. She's a VIP sponsor of the show. Thank you for your contribution, your donation. It helps us find powerhouse speakers like Miss Brooks for the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. We appreciate you and your gracious support. And she says, "Hi, Miss Brooks."
Hi. Hey, Miss Erica.
Absolutely. Miss Brooks, you have several businesses. How do you juggle it all? How do you handle it all? How do you manage to keep everything going and running so smooth and just flawless, right? How do you do it? What's your secret?
Oh, Lord, I don't know about flawless, but, I'm so glad I don't look like what I've been through, because businesses let alone can be challenging. And I know many can be overwhelming for many, but it's not impossible if you have the system down pat. And I don't really have, I really can't say that I balance them, right? We call it harmonize. That's what I call it. I harmonize in all of them, because I can have a lot of things happening at one day. Just this morning, the phone is ringing, and it's between all businesses. I'm getting phone calls and I'm juggling them through. And so if the mind is not there, you get overwhelmed. Now, have I been overwhelmed? Absolutely. And so harmonizing them all together, sometimes I have to take the step back and I have to take a deep breath, and say, okay. And I dissect it all. Again, I write it all on a piece of paper, and I go back at it and I start implementing. The other thing is that I have to be as good as my team. Building a strong team to be able to make these businesses all work is so important. Now, my team is still, we're kind of going through a little bit, because, we had, COVID, and then we have the storm that's happened. I'm in New Orleans. And so Hurricane Ida, of course, did hit. And, some employees, they have to fix on their houses, and you have to I had to allow them the time to do so. But the business still goes on. So we just make it work. I make it work, and I harmonize as best as I can to make all of this gel together. And at the end of the day, it works out. It all works out. And so, and if something happened that day and I couldn't put all the pieces of the puzzle again, I go back at it the next day. But it can be a challenge at times if you don't have a right team and you don't put your mind together and be strong enough to be able to handle it. If your systems are right, you can work it out. Make sure you set the foundation in your business. Put a firm foundation in your business and make sure you set it up from the jump, how it's supposed to go, how it works, how it looks to you, how you want it to work, what are the mechanics, know what your exit strategy is, know how you want the functioning to go, know how, every part of it, you need to know about it. You need to know something about your business to make sure you know how it runs. So then you could be able to delegate. I've learned how to delegate more. I'm a more hands-on person. And so, and that worked for only a while. And I realized if I'm more hands-on, if I'm so hands-on, I'm not able to be able to work in other businesses and build other businesses. Right. And so I had to learn that little tweak. I learned how to say, I'm delegating this. I'm hiring the best team member. And so I'm putting in their hands. They may not do it exactly like the way I want to do it, but they're doing what's needed according to what I've trained them to do. And after I've done that, then I'm able to take my hands off and I'm able to go into building another business, which is what I like to do.
I wish I could give her like a microphone so she could drop it, right? Just blam, just drop it at that moment. Miss Brooks, thank you, and thank you for pointing that out. What's happening in New Orleans is still to this day a recovery. Right, we're still trying to recover economically from that disaster. What was a major pivot? I'm sure you had to do a ton of different things, but what's a major system or improvement that you had to add to the business during COVID-19 and during that natural disaster? What was one thing you had to change or improve upon in the business?
One was learning how to pivot quickly. And so, like I said, if you didn't prepare for the war, it can have you stuck. And so that one, because I think for everyone with COVID, we were all unexpected. It was, you didn't know how to handle it. You didn't know how to go through it. You didn't know what to do all of a sudden, and it just hit. And so what now? Right. And for me, it was like, in a business, you have to know how to pivot quickly if you want the business to survive. And so I knew that I had to sit down, assess what the problem is. That's what anything, anybody, guys, you have a problem, personal or business, you need to sit down, dissect it, write it all down, and then figure out how to assess it and how to problem solve. No use to still just complain about it, going through it, not knowing what to do, procrastinated. You want to survive the storm, so to speak, right? And so in the COVID's case, it was assessing it and understanding what needed to be. I knew that employees and things were scared, but they needed to pay their family, they needed to make money. And so money motivates, and incentives were one thing that really helped us. And if anything, in this business with the transportation and logistics business, there was, with our packaging is skyrocketed. So, people were at home, they were ordering more. they people wanted more things. They weren't going out to shop. They wanted things to come to them. And so we had to learn how to pivot, because then that meant we needed more manpower. And so understanding what needed to be, incentives were the one that really helped us through it all. So me learning to pivot in that way was important. As far as when I was doing speaking, we were all on platforms, we were traveling and speaking, and then that happened. So then, if you all saw, a lot of people shifted to online. So learning how to be online. So the point here is learning how to pivot quickly and then thinking out of the box to make it work. You saw that restaurants, they shifted to now takeouts. So what did that mean? They needed to market to get more people to work, whether they wanted to do home deliveries or people would come and pick up, and they need to do their marketing towards that. And then showing care and concern for your clientele or your customer. We had to showing our customers that we were caring, we were here for you, and that we were willing to give back to our community in any way. So we're just making sure our community, whatever you're doing, if you have a community, then you want to make sure they understand that you're here, you're not going anywhere, and you care. If you can give back to your community, then give back. We have a lot of, right now we have Hurricane Ida. So I've been helping out with assisting with a few giveaways and some collaborations, and helping out at church giveaways and community giveaways in any way I can, because I want to let the community know I care and I'm here, and I want to be able to help you in any way I can. So those are a few ways that really helped us to get through with COVID and now Hurricane Ida.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. A true, I forgot to mention, y'all, in everything that I just said about her. She does real estate, she does investing, she does small business, and she's an activist in the community. She's also coach, a mentor to many young women, and she gives back in that way, and she helps give back to her community. She owns a trucking business, numerous businesses. So I wanted to answer that question. Thank you, Miss Sabrina, for joining us on your lunch break. um,
Mhm.
that is phenomenal. Miss Laquita, you have given us so many nuggets today, so many powerful nuggets today, and encouraged us upon today. If you had one more nugget, one more jewel, one more um just piece of advice for that business owner, that young woman, that young man, that young business owner that's back is against the wall. You've been doing business for a while, so you're a veteran in the game, bar none. If you had one more nugget to share with that business owner whose back is against the wall, um, PPP money, stimulus money, all of that's gone, what would you say to that young girl, that young boy in the audience today?
Like I said, you need to be innovative. You want to know how to make things work. You can't sit around and just wait for the answer to come to you, right? So you want to go out and find courses and classes, things that are giving information. We have a lot of free information that, we, meaning people out there, have a lot of information on Google, and using that, going and finding different groups in Facebook and ways that you can ask questions. People are more willing when they are in businesses themselves, because they know they were at that point, or at one time they needed some assistance and they needed some answers and they didn't know where to turn to. So use those platforms to your advantage. Those business platforms, they have a lot of good information, and they're more willing to help you out in any way. And budget in getting a coach, a mentor, someone who can help you, that you can call on or you can meet up with. And if you can't, if that's not in your budget, then they have the group courses and the group memberships that you can be a part of. And they have meetups probably periodically, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. And you're able to be a part of that community. Because for one thing, you're going to need support. You want support because you're going to feel weary when you don't know what to do and your business is not going right, or you want to build a business and you don't know where to start. You're going to need some help. So first, don't be afraid to ask for help. Go out there and reach out and look for the answers. Don't sit down and wait for them to come to you, because that will never happen. Okay, go out and find it. And there are different ways to find it. And you'll be surprised as much stuff I need to know. When I need to know information, I'm Googling different type of phrases and words, and then finding those right people that I can connect with to get some answers. And then making sure you're networking. So people who know that you're in there and you're networking, you're going out to different conferences and stuff that are business conferences that are in the same genre that you're interested in. Go to those and feel free to network as much as you can. And I've gotten a lot of help in doing that way too. So believe me, these are not new. These are old. Listen, guys, these are things that these are old school remedies. These are things that you can use all the time. But just making sure you're implementing your time wisely to get the answers you need so you can get back to business and make it grow.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I didn't want to miss this question. We had a question from Miss Erica Holmes. She's a VIP sponsor of the show. She asked about your trucking business, I'm assuming. How do you find drivers to your trucking business?
It's the same way anyone else uses ZipRecruiter, Indeed, just advertising out there. It's the same thing. It's no different. Look, I have no special sauce for this. It's the same way. So we were out there, we're looking for employees. And during COVID and even now, we've had a high turnover rate, you know. And so those are things that's keeping that up to date. You want to make sure you have a lot of people in the roster. When I'm looking for drivers, we have a lot of people in the roster and constantly getting them turned over, because they have to do their background. We have to do their background check. They have to get their test. They have to go get tested and urination, the tests, all of those tests that they have to do. So we constantly are making sure that we have a Rolodex of people on the line, because by the time, if we have someone that a position available, then we have to go back in the roster and they may have found another job. So making sure you have you keep that going, that Indeed or ZipRecruiter going, or any database you use, with monster.com, with all of those things. But we use Indeed or ZipRecruiter to find drivers and making sure that they're qualified for the job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How can my audience connect with you? How can we grow with you? How can we learn more from you as you grow? Because we want to stay with you on this journey. The train has already left the station, right? But it's not too late to get on board. How can we connect?
Absolutely, guys. You can go to my website. I'm at themotivationalmaven.com, LaquitaBrooks.com, same website. I'm on IG. I'm at Mrs. Businesswoman, and at Facebook at Laquita Brooks. And so, yeah, just I'd be happy to help anyone. You know, we all need help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and let's grow and level up together. Let's do it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Miss Brooks, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give back in this way. I find this a part of the community. So thank you for sharing all the tips and all the incredible knowledge you have today. We appreciate you. And on behalf of me and the audience, I want to say thank you. Don't ever quit, because we need you. The world needs what you're doing, and you are changing lives every single day. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This is what I do. I love transforming, and I hope that I've helped somebody to get up and get going and get moving and follow your dreams and visions. They're waiting for you. It's right there waiting for you. It's just waiting for you to catch it and make it fly.
Love it. Absolutely. Get going, y'all. We got to get going. We got to make moves. I feel like I'm slacking, right? She's talking to me, y'all. She making me go.
What you waiting for? Let's do it. Stop waiting and do it now. Let's go.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you again, Miss Brooks. And I want to say thank you all, my audience, for tuning into the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I hope this message has served you, and I hope this helps you take your business, your life, your family to the next level. And if you need that motivation, if you need that kick in the butt, contact Miss Brooks, and she will be sure to give it to you. Because you need inspiration. She is Miss Businesswoman, changing lives every single day. Like I end every show, take care of your friends, take care of your families, and always, always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show, and the incredible, the amazing Miss Laquita Brooks signing off. Love you guys. Bye.